Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody around the globe, including the areas. This is Sir Topham Hatt I at your service, may I add. Let's get to the point. Now we're going to talk about the second generation of my fleet and what happened to them and why they disappeared off the face of the earth. A lot of it is very complicated indeed. I was in the area at the time, on the premises of the North Norfolk Railway, which is the Northwestern Railway Company, may I add. And first things first, that came to light that a lot of my fleet, or the original fleet at the time, that taught me everything they needed me to know, etc. Um, they all got pink slips with no wages. That's how bad it got. They booted me out as a last resort. They knew I was the next one in line to take over. So what do? They abused me. They abused all the fleet. No offense, this is their own words. They said F, they cursed, they sworn, and they done everything they can to run it down to the ground. Obviously, I saw that with my own eyes, indeed. And and it's not a joke, and I'm not rambling on about it. Now the third gen are starting to go into into the north, into the Northwestern Railway Company of Wellsworth Station, which is still North Norfolk Railway Station in Sheringham. Now, a lot of you may think, what the hell is going on up there? Well, with a lot of things going on, topping it all up, one of the name of the engine, which I've been provided and said she's already been named, that's sorted, and I'm getting to the point now where the hell is the second generation of the fleet and their descendants, because that's where it's leading to. And people started asking questions, big questions, ones that the police can't even answer. And I said, look, there's a time and a place for everything in that time. And a lot of people have the nosy way of saying, you're fired, you're gone, kaput. I had nothing to do with it. However, as Sir Topham Hatt III, I want to reinstate all those former employees and reinstate them into their normal ranks they originally were to begin with their descendants. Basically, their proteges, if you will, their alter egos coming back. And the thing is, you can't destroy a steam team because it's always living forever. And it always lives forever. Without the steam team, you cannot have the diesel team. Without the diesel team, they can't have the steam team. It's vice versa. It's been the cake mixing material job. One without the other cannot survive without the other. So if they try and name, let's say, Hazel, the B12 engine, and rename her into something else they shouldn't, as example, watch out. That's what I like to say indeed. And that's not a joke after all. And you have to take that into consideration that the second generation never got paid when they got booted out. And I had nothing to do with it. I watched there crying in tears, trying to work things out. And I calculated out so badly that I knew there was something up, knew there was something wrong on the premises. The person in charge, Sydney, who's actually a total forgetful one, as they call him. Then you have Devious Diesel and his wife. It's his wife that did all the damage, and plus Daisy on top. And I said, take that in whatsoever. The second gen and the third gen should be reuniting, combining together, working together. What's happened to the second gen? They said, probably in their layman terms of phrase, to put it correctly, they because a lot of you might want to know what happened to the second generation of that fleet that taught me everything I needed to know. And it said, in the day, this is no game. This is no race, and there's no joke. So if they name the B12 to something else, hey presto, something bad will go totally wrong, and it will be their fault. Plus, and it's already been named in 1958 by the first fat controller, Sir Topham Hatt I. Now, when it's illegally done like that, the thing is, a lot of people don't realise that the second gen fleet are not going to come back no more because they hang their hats, if you will, on their working stages because they're getting too old now. And the third generation has to take over where they left off. So, regardless to that, the third gen are now asking where's their fat controller. They, I'm over here, guys. I'm always on board. You know that. Regardless of my vulnerabilities. Anyway, getting to the point that the third gen needs the second gen's support with guidance, talk, and a little bit of support. But the third gens haven't got nothing besides that they're going on a platform of the North Western Railway Company of the North Norfolk Railway at Walsworth Station, well known as Sheringham Station, thinking, yeah, right, what's next? You know, the second fleet, the second generation fleet, have retired now. The third gens are now coming in to take over for another 21 years plus. So work it out. It goes in threes, don't it? For everything. Lightning strikes twice in one turn. I said I know exactly what they're doing. And so what did the second generation taught me that never got told by the third all the way through, which I am filling in the gaps for the timeline. Me. So in the end of the day, if the if the B12 gets renamed as something else, something bad will happen. Worse, the diesels won't live, not even the steam team. All it would be is a pile of rubble on the floor. That's what could become of the North Norfolk Railway in the end, if they don't act up, polish up, and get me back on the platform and apologise to me indefinitely. Because in the long run, the second generation is gone, the third generation is now kicking in, and that's it. So that's what's happened in 2018 to 2019. So work it out. I'm in my office, knowing what I'm doing, while they're up there trying to make fun games. So work it out. Second generation needs to get apologised to as well. They didn't do nothing wrong. You pushed them too bloody hard up there, and it's not right. You know, they've been announcing it. They're trying to make up the wake up call and said you're in for a lot of trouble, and you are. The third, basically, the diesel, whoever is running the North Norfolk Railway up there at the moment, Sydney, he's causing a lot of trouble. A lot more than his money's worth. I said, as long as I live, I survive for a reason. But in the end of the day, there's a little clue to this puzzle that needs to be revealed as it such. What will happen if Hazel gets renamed without my consent? Now, everybody's seen this coming, and I'm going to make it quite clear and crystal. Right? The second generation needs apologising to and get their money wages and everything else. And everything else put in front in DD to sort it out correctly and put their money right back into their bank accounts. Their jobs have been lost because of the diesel team. That's all it is. But if I can notice these things, I will know about it. And people respect me for one reason, and because my family is well known, very well known. But like I said, you have to wait for the book to come out on top. So the book is going to be in volumes. So, have you heard of the phrase that saying it's small on the outside, bigger on the inside? That's how. That's what Thomas's book is like. Small on the outside, bigger on the inside. That's the biggest fact that I could give you at this point of time. And it will hit the North Norfolk Railway because in the day, regardless of everything that's been shown and dealt, the only thing is, if they rename that B12 to something else, damage will be done more extensively, and it will hit everybody. So I know that Hazel's fine, and she's getting repaired. So, if she gets christened with another name that she doesn't deserve, let justice be done that Hazel is her name. That's another thing just to bring up to add up while I've got everything in play here indefinitely. So everybody knows that I'm watching. Eyes and ears everywhere. Thank you very much. Indeed.